Over to baseball, and the Rays still have the best record in the majors, though their 3 losses have come in the last week. They also have a plus 83 run differential. They're at plus 110 to win the AL East, plus 400 to win the pennant, and plus 900 to win the World Series. As we say hello to one of our MLB experts, Anthony Dabbundo, we're going to play a little game of bet or pass, and we'll start with the Rays. They are the best team in the AL. Are you betting or passing?
I'm going to bet that. I bet them to win the American League East this morning. You can find up to plus 125 out there on that. Fangraphs projects them at about 50.8%. So actually odds on to win the division at this point. And it's really a bet on their depth. They lose Jeffrey Springs for the year to Tommy John. They replace him in the rotation with Taj Bradley. Bradley has one of the 5 best fastballs amongst starting pitchers in his first 2 outings. He dominates the Reds the other night, strikes out 9 batters. So Bradley is a legitimate top prospect pitcher, and they have lineup reinforcements on the way potentially with Curtis Mead and Kyle Manzardo, 2 guys in AAA who have been hitting well. Manzardo this year and Mead all of last season. So there's a lot of potential prospects coming along for the Rays, and Yandy Diaz in the middle of a breakout season. Diaz always had the plate skills, always had the bat to ball skills. Now we're finally seeing him hit the ball in the air, untap some of that power. He's been one of the 3 or 4 best hitters in all of baseball the first 2 weeks of the season. So this is a lineup that is finally producing, and we know the pitching depth is there. So I don't think the Yankees and the Blue Jays, given how much they're struggling right now, the Yankees pitching depth is really being tested with all of these injuries. Carlos Rodon's going to miss more time, and the Blue Jays pitchers are healthy, but they've been very ineffective. Chris Bassett, Alek Manoah, really struggling out of the gate. Jose Barrios doesn't look like the same guy anymore. So some real red flags with the pitching and the other 2 favorites. I think Tampa should rightly be the favorite and should actually be odds on to win the division.
All bright side for the Rays, but on the other hand, next up, the A's were pummeled by the Cubs last night. However, Mason Miller had a nice debut on the mound, 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings. So Miller to win AL Rookie of the Year, would you bet or pass?
I'm going to pass here. I think, the Miller's already down to about 20-1 at some places to win Rookie of the Year. I just don't see it. I mean, the stuff is there. He has the fastball, the cutter, and the slider, which all grade out as elite pitches. But the A's are going to manage him pretty hard, I think. He only went twice through the order. He was pulled immediately when the Cubs' 3rd time through came up. He hasn't really pitched a lot the last couple of years because of those injuries. And his career high for innings in a calendar, like full baseball season, is only 90, and that was back in college. So he really hasn't been pushed, and it's just really hard to win Rookie of the Year as a pitcher unless you're going to get fully stretched out and go 150 innings. And I really don't see Miller getting that kind of run. I think he's pretty hard capped around 100 innings max, if that. And that's on a team that's not competitive. So they don't really have any incentive to push him come August and September. He has similar, I think, skills to Spencer Strider and his pitch mix and how dominant his stuff can be for strikeouts. But Strider was much more stretched out, and he was pushed on a contending team. And even he couldn't win Rookie of the Year. He came in 2nd. So I really don't see the path for Miller. I'm going to pass here. I actually like Esteury Ruiz more as a Rookie of the Year flyer, and he's even longer odds on the A's.
Not overreacting to Miller just yet. Finally, after the Padres beat the Braves 1-0 last night, Manny Machado had this to say on the Padres' slow start offensively. Quote, "Don't jump on the bandwagon later on when we start effing raking and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing." Strong words there. Padres are currently 24th in the majors in runs scored, 12th in the NL in runs scored. But Fernando Tatis Jr. back from suspension today. So now is the time to buy low on the Padres. Bet or pass?
Yeah, I'm more likely to bet the Padres than pass here, and it's more in the National League West than the rest of the National League. I still think the Braves are the cream of the crop in the league, and I even think the Mets may grade out, if healthy in the playoffs with their starters, as better than the Padres. But it's not just Tatis that's coming back, but Joe Musgrove that's going to come back and really shore up a rotation that has really struggled to start the season. We have not seen great stuff out of Michael Wacha at the back of the rotation. Nick Martinez has gotten hit hard. Blake Snell and Yu Darvish have been up and down to begin the season. So really the bet on the pitching hasn't quite made it to this point. The bullpen depth has also been a big struggle. They're bottom 10 in bullpen xFIP. The lineup underproducing, I don't expect to continue, though. Juan Soto's had a pretty slow start. He's too good of a hitter to be, as bad as he's been. Same with Manny Machado. You're banking on those guys starting to come to life in this offense. But this divisional bet is more so a bet against the Dodgers, who are now resorting potentially to playing Mookie Betts at shortstop because they're struggling so much for production at the position and have so many injuries. Mookie at short, they're going to shove an extra outfielder in the lineup. This team has major holes, and I don't know if the Dodgers are going to go all in at the deadline. I think this might be just a recycling down year for LA. And so if they're going to slow and not be the same LA of the past, Padres should probably be the favorite to win this division. Right now, the Dodgers minus 130, Padres plus 130-ish out there. I think you'd have to look to the Padres to win more games than the Dodgers this year.